I'm curious. What do you think the kinkiest states are?
You ready for this himbo corn?
Is it like a unicorn? Look over here. Just the tiniest little like.
Really? Thanks, Mom. No.
Isn't dog saliva supposed to be like better or less germs or something? Take that, COVID. Oh, I just have to lick you.
No, don't lick me. Down, down.
Oh, okay.
No.
Hello, and welcome back to
What's the safe word?
I'm Am.
I'm Mr. Christopher.
And today
we are watching a lot of
No,
porn.
no. You can't. Don't say. Okay. Today's episode is we're decompressing and unpacking the search terms on certain sites that revolve around corn. No, corn. Shh. We're
Can
talking.
we not say
I'm just gonna be safe, okay? Today's episode, we're talking about Cornhub, okay? We're popping off. There's kernels of truth everywhere. We're talking about corn, but with a P. So if we're referring to Cornhub today, you know what we're talking about, right? It's gotten to the point where we need to do coded words just to talk about because I just swore. So happy new queer, everyone. As we move into the next year, I'm ready to get out of 2021, but I'm also interested to see and unpack some of the data from Cornhub and their year in review, which shows us kind of how porn reflects the world that we live in or affects the world that we live in some ways.
Can we just say adult entertainment?
Sure, we're gonna call it adult entertainment, but I like corn. Corn? When did I have corn?
What you talking about, Willis?
That is not a good bottoming food.
No, I know, but that's why it's funny.
The cob is useful though.
Aw, shucks.
Oh God.
And I do want to call out that Cornhub has had its issues in the past, and it's definitely had some scandals, but that does not mean that it is not one of the most visible front-facing websites for sex content and entertainment.
It's like a hub for corn.
Exactly.
It's a corn bowl.
Cornhole? So regardless, we are decompressing this information because it is so fascinating to unpack and look at what people are into, not only sexually, but also kink-wise. We do have some kink-specific stats as well.
Kinky porn, that's my favorite.
And regardless if you're looking for some corn or just surfing the web, today's sponsor is sure to be topical because today's sponsor is...
Corn shark. I mean, surf shark. I was replacing things. Sorry, surf shark.
Are you looking for corn?
Always.
Do you want to be able to do it 24/7, 365 with no hassle and from the comfort of your home without having all of your data mined and tracked or getting weird ads for corn?
Well, up until I orgasm, yes.
This is the only channel where you can talk about orgasms in an ad read, right?
We can say orgasm, right?
I don't
We don't have to
know.
say corngasm.
I don't. Then you need a VPN, which stands for...
Very pretty network.
No, virtual private network. It's a virtual private network, okay? They got 24/7 customer support. You get 30-day money-back guarantee if you don't like the services. And, I mean, we know a thing about servicing.
Because we watch Cornhub.
Surfshark not only keeps your data private, but it allows you to surf the web with ease and securely.
And if you want to access a library on Netflix that's not in your location,
You can actually spoof your location. And that's how I was watching all of the RuPaul's week to week. I was just jumping on over to the UK.
and spoof, it's there.
I was also watching Friends. I was watching The Office. I was watching Outlander. There are so many more libraries you can get by just being able to spoof your location on tons of different platforms. Hulu, Netflix, Paramount Plus. What else?
I was able to spoof French and Saunders, which is my favorite.
Bless you. They're an award-winning VPN, and if you would like to get your own deal down below, Daddy, what can they do?
Use offer code WATTS at the link down below.
You'll get 83% off and 3 months for free with your 2-year deal. So act now, support the channel, and protect your data so that you're not mined and used in this further report, you know? There's gonna be another one next year.
What if I want to be mined and used?
Just get Surfshark.
Spoof!
Especially considering the video on Billie Eilish and the responses that I've seen there, there's a lot of ignorance that goes into how we even talk about and consume the cornography.
Yeah, cornography is consumed by people in many different ways. Are you cracking yourself up over there?
I'm cracking corn and I don't care. I just popped in there.
So it would be popcorn?
Delete the video. Now, Cornhub has done this review, I think as far back as 2018, when the trending topics back then were Bowsette and Fortnite. You know what those are, right?
No, I just love that you think 2018 was so long ago.
2019, the trending topics included amateur content, as well as aliens, and 2020 was the year of quarantine, so...
Quarantine?
So now that we are in 2021, let's just dive right into the info and infographics, as well as the impressionable terms and terminology that really made an impact on the corn. And what better way to start than the top trending term that was literally the top term all over the world. So in the entire world, this topic, this term was searched the most. People wanted to see it, and it happened to be
MILF.
no.
No.
Why did you say that?
Because I was guessing.
Were you just guessing? Hentai.
Oh, hentai.
For those who don't know what that is, it is a form of animated corn, pretty much. It's a Japanese-style cartoons that depict certain fantastical...
Not chicken bondage.
No.
That's what I think. Every time you say hentai, I'm like, who's tying up chickens?
But you're bound to see some cocks.
Cluck, cluck. So why are people wanting to watch corn cartoons?
I think, and Cornhub thought this as well, we think that it's because everyone's looking for something a little bit more fantastical, something that they can't digest normally or even be a part of. And it's just, there's a lot of animated content from cartoons to video games. Like the hentai includes not just the 2D animated stuff, but the 3D. And so I think people were just looking for something a little bit more interesting this year.
So when I was aroused by He-Man as a teenager,
Yes.
that's hentai?
Could be. Now, I do realize that hentai is this terminology that comes from Japan, so there is a cultural background to it as well and popularity from that perspective. But the fact that worldwide, so everywhere in the world put together, that was the top term is very interesting.
Was it in America?
America as well, yes.
Okay. Way to go, America.
At the second spot of the most influential terms was romance.
Oh, that's sweet. People wanted romantic porn? Oh my god.
Honestly, it's probably because everyone was very depressed during the COVID
That's what I'm
times and they were just
thinking.
looking for romance again.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is like, we don't have a definite, like, why is it this way? But we do have, I guess, context clues and we can kind of guess why people are interested in this stuff.
Because we know it all. So
No,
we can
really
guess and
don't.
we've figured this out.
This video might be like sex educators react to top trending corn terms, but no, we don't know. We're not, I don't know.
I know.
You don't. Okay, fine. And romantic related terms were actually up about 138%, as well as, and this is my favorite, bromance was up like 300% in search terms, which
Yeah,
is just, so,
Yeah, bro. Totally, bro.
especially from the gay audience, I guess.
You want my protein, bro?
Him.
Come on, bro.
Him bromance.
Yeah, bro.
Him. Also,
Yeah.
we have a new shirt. You should check it out if you want.
Yeah, bro.
You're totally, yeah, you are trending right now.
Want my protein, bro?
Oh,
Yeah.
stop. Okay, put the protein away. And then group sex also was the third top influential term.
Ooh, I know this one.
Okay.
It's because everyone was in quarantine and couldn't have it. They wanted to see other people interacting with each other. See? Figured it out.
With threesome, as well as MMF, FFM, MFM, how many other... All of those kinds of threesome related terms being the 7th highest search term in the US, but worldwide, when we kind of looked at all of the threesome related things, orgy included, they were all up about 70% in searchability.
Because people wanted orgies. They wanted to gangbang.
And within our top 5, fitness was at number 4 of the most influential terms.
Let's get physical. Well, that's an obvious one. No one could go to the gym.
Yeah.
So they were jonesing for it.
Gym, fitness, workout, those were all something that people were really interested in.
They're probably eating potato chips while they're watching people working out.
I mean, there is like this, you're watching someone do something and then therefore you're feeling the energy, hopefully, to do it yourself. But personally, like during COVID, I built my little at-home gym. I was so bad at it. It was so hard.
Well, if you think of corn as a fantasy, so not being able to go to the gym and watching someone else, that's literally a fantasy.
And another really big term that I was actually kind of happy to see on the list of the most influential was transgender. And I can clearly see why that was probably trending, because it was such a topical term, both politically, socially. We're seeing so much more representation on these websites, and I think that helped to feed into making that a very popular term. Not just overall, but for men specifically, it was up quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for male viewers, like transgender as a term that was being searched for was up.
So do you think this was a case of corn being Educational or salacious?
I think it was absolutely a case of being educational and providing people a perspective from someone that they might not have considered before. Now, there was a lot of info in this whole report, but I like that they also talked to some therapists and like sex educators, and there was some specific info on the transgender related term that stated, trans is trending for many different reasons. Increasingly marginalized sexuality outside of the vanilla world is coming out of the shadows. We're talking about sex more, and we're more free to explore our sexual fantasies with less judgmental attachment.
So overall, that's a good thing.
I think, and especially the sex experts apparently seem to agree, that the more we are able to talk about something, even if it's divisive to begin with, because of course there was lots of very negative trans-related trends because of certain political parties and people, I think that that ended up coming back to the generations that are growing up now, and they're asking questions and finding things out. And this is where, when we look at demographics and breakdowns like this, I think it's especially interesting to see what people are watching, why, and how it affects us. Because as much as we, and I say we as like a whole universe, the world, as much as we as a society want to ignore corn a lot of the time, it is a direct reflection of our society, what we're going through, and what we're interested in, or else we would not be producing said corn to then consume. That's actually a really good metaphor.
I like caramel corn myself.
Goth was on the list, which
Goth?
I'm not. Actually, let me read this.
What is
up.
it? The 80s?
It was up 283%.
What?
Averaging more than 5 million searches each month.
What?
I think it's just it's the trends coming back. You know how bell bottoms, you know?
No. Goth is up?
What, you don't like bell bottoms?
No, that surprises me.
Fine, bell tops. And then near the bottom of the top 10, roommate.
Aha! People are stuck together, so they want to get with their roommate.
And they were roommates.
And they were roommates.
God, they were roommates.
You don't get that reference because...
No.
Okay. You're stuck with someone, so maybe there's like this unknown taboo or fetish that you kind of have for like, ooh, my roommate's kind of hot, and I really hate that
But
they
that's
ate
not
my food and
that's not
it
a
was
good thing
it was
to
labeled.
do.
And... Also, have you ever wanted to get it on with a roommate?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not had hot roommates.
In my
apparently.
20s. Yeah, no, I had a
Okay.
couple hot roommates. Actually, I had a straight guy as a roommate that I really wanted to do.
Actually, straight guys was the top trending term for the gays. Did you hear about
Oh.
that? That I was so intrigued by. And actually, the 10th on the most influential terms, according to Cornhub, was how to.
How to what?
Just how to.
Oh,
like
just
how
like how
to
to.
do something, how to get it on, how to get in there, and you know.
How to use electricity. How to do a bondage tie. They could have just come to our channel. They wouldn't have to search that.
Well, and that's actually one part of the conversation I do want to have is like Cornhub has this amazing resource center actually on their website where they have sex therapists, workers, educators come on and talk about their experiences while they teach. And I mean, why wouldn't you want to learn such topics from people that literally that is their job?
And why aren't we on it doing it?
Well, I don't know, maybe Cornhub hates us.
Wait a second. I thought you said we were going to talk about kink.
We are.
Oh.
So that was kind of the top that defined the world of sex on the corn hubs. But there is actually a smaller study they did where they actually talked about some of the BDSM terms that are used on Cornhub. And this is where it gets especially interesting.
Yeah, it does.
Now, this study did not come in 2021 with the full-on review, but actually came a little bit before. And it talks about BDSM as a term, but then kind of breaks down some of the other top terms. Now, BDSM as a whole stands for...
Oh, sorry, I was on whole. Bondage, discipline, sadomasochism.
And while that is the top term because that's apparently what people just go into when they're ever looking for fetish content on Cornhub, the terms that come after that generally include bondage, slave, latex, and spanking as the top terms within the hub.
Ooh, people are into spanking that much?
Apparently.
I love it.
And it's estimated that the overall fetish and BDSM terminology that's searched for makes up about 1.5% of all searches on the website, which is kind of impressive.
That's a big number.
I'm actually especially, one thing that really stood out for me in this study was that latex outranked leather.
I could see that. I think leather is used less and less and less as a term for fetish.
That's fair, but like when people are looking for stuff, I guess latex is a bit sexier. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more like voluptuousness that you can see. You get all the curves and everything, where leather is more of, I guess, a formal thing.
I also don't think the straight community uses leather as much as the gay community. for
That's
BDSM.
that's fair. That's fair. You do see a lot more PVC and just stretchy materials that kind of looks latex-like, and it does kind of beg a question of like who's wearing what and what they're into.
Yeah, usually straight dominatrixes, they have something that's really form-fitting, and rarely is it leather. It's like shiny and...
Okay, stop
I don't know
grabbing.
why I'm
Stop
doing
grabbing.
this.
Stop grabbing. Stop grabbing. Also on the top terms for this list that they put together was submissive, lesbian domination, lesbian BDSM, blindfold surprise. What?
Well, if you're blindfolded, everything's a surprise.
There's lots of other terms that just feel very like clickbaity, and I bet you a bunch of people just put whatever terminology they can in a video, and that helps to probably find it. But I love when I see what kind of a straighter or more vanilla gaze, and I'm not talking about the gays, I'm talking about like just the general audience, is looking for when they're looking for something kinky. It kind of shows us how people are evolving slowly but surely.
Oh, don't call me Shirley.
Can I call you Daddy Shirley?
No.
Actually, speaking of women,
Name a woman. Name a woman.
Name a woman.
Name a woman.
and when you talk about demographics, which we're about to get into as well, women were 86% more likely to look for BDSM related terms.
That's interesting. I think women can take pain more than men.
Yes, scientifically, women have a higher pain tolerance usually. That is a fact, not just a...
So that makes sense.
Whereas gay men were 12% more likely, at least in the men category, to look up BDSM sorts of terms as well. And that makes absolute sense.
So gay men and women can take a lot of pain.
I didn't say that, but
That makes sense.
But it does make me realize why we have such a split audience here on What's a Safeword. Is like, originally it was a very gay audience because we're two gay men.
Super gay.
Hi, gay.
But then it slowly started getting more of like a 50-50. And I think to this day we're kind of split down the middle.
I don't know if we're down the middle anymore. I think we've tipped the scales.
Really?
I think so.
Wait, let me look real quick.
I look at the comments and we have a lot of women.
This just in, we are, as far as gender goes, we are 49.2% female
Wow.
and 50.8% male. I apologize for our non-binary viewers that YouTube is homophobic and does not calculate that.
You're right. Split right down the middle.
Speaking of stats, according to this study, women are also 163% more likely to look for gay BDSM than men. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense. Well, yeah, and there's studies to back that up as well, saying that, gay porn is generally a little less aggressive and a little less harmful to women.
So when it climaxes, is that creamed corn? Come on. That was good. Come on.
And I really like when they started to break down the age groups for kink-related BDSM stuff because, who do you think, as far as age groups, who do you think was the most likely to search for kink stuff?
25 to 35.
Visitors over the age of 55 were the most likely to search for BDSM terms.
Oh, that's interesting.
And visitors 35 to 44 were the least likely to search for BDSM.
That's interesting. So is that because as you get older, you get a little more tired of tedious vanilla sex and more exploratory as you get older?
I don't know the full specifics there, but I definitely think it's going to be a cultural, generational sort of thing. Like my age group, which was the 25 to 34 in this study, were 2% less likely than the average, while the 18 to 24 were 2% more likely than the average person to look for BDSM. It's fascinating because as we get more into these generations that are kind of more open, you search for it more.
But also, as you age, you get to more confident and comfortable with your body as well, I think.
I think that there's also less stigma there because you are of an age where it's like, who the fuck cares if someone thinks
I don't care what anyone thinks of me. Call me Pig Boy. I don't care.
Shirley Pig Boy?
No, that's where I draw the line.
And while Cornhub's study wasn't the worst, there are actually better studies around terminologies that were searched for and the states that searched for it. So From Mars, which is another wonderful resource, and they were the ones that we had that Google board where we were taking off the sex-related terms last year.
Totally remember that.
Technically last year. They did a whole study on BDSM specific terminology that was searched for in the United States. And the top 10 states in America that searched for the most kink stuff, so again, that doesn't mean that they're kink positive, but they're just
searching for it.
Most search.
They're using their VPN to go around and search for it. Surfshark.
Goes like this. At number 1, Washington, D.C.
Wow, the politicians are kinky.
They're searching for a lot of kinky shit.
Shocker.
Then California.
Oh, hello.
New York, New Jersey, Washington, Massachusetts, Maryland, Virginia, Illinois, and Connecticut.
So nothing in the South.
Well, so here's the thing though. We're talking about kink specifically. In our last research that we did with From Mars, we were talking about sex education, and like STIs and health.
Right.
So that makes sense that people are so uneducated in school that they're searching for kind of more mundane things. You have to do a little bit more research for this one. Now, which states are searching for the most? And then there's actually a drop down where you can choose which kink. So what do you want to see? What do you want to see?
Chastity.
What state is into chastity the most? DC.
DC.
California. It kind of follows the whole map.
How about fisting?
Let's see who's the most hands-on. Again, DC. What the heck, DC?
DC is a kinky fucking place. Who knew?
This just goes to show that politicians are so hypocritical.
Oh. I think our last president liked getting peed on, so.
Next term. Okay, you get one more term. What do you want to look up?
How about feet? Who's into feet?
Feet fetishes. DC, holy shit. But I'm gonna go, number 2 was New Jersey and 3 is New York.
I'm moving to DC.
Please don't. Please don't. Right underneath that though, it just says DC is the kinkiest state, having made the most searches for the majority of terms within the top 20. That is fascinating.
Well, technically DC's not a state yet.
And Mississippi is the most vanilla state.
Really?
Yeah.
All those S's slowed him down.
Gonna give you an S here in a second. Some sadism. So we're actually on the site, and masochism was the most Googleable fetish-related term in the nation.
Is that just because we don't know what the word masochist is?
Probably. The number of times I've had to Google masochist versus sadist.
Why? Because you forget?
Well, yeah, because I know that you're doing pain, but one of them you like pain done to you, and one of them you like pain done to other people. And the way I remember it is masochist starts with an M, so M is for me. So I like hurting myself if I'm a masochist.
You're not a masochist.
No, I didn't say I was. I'm just saying that's how I remember the term.
That's a horrible way to remember
No,
it.
but And the top terms that popped up in this research, of course, masochist at the top, voyeur at number 2.
Is that really a kink thing?
Corsetry at number 3.
Corset tree?
Yeah, like corsets. Sadism at number 4, which again, that's not for me, that's for you. I want to hurt you. Sadist.
It starts with an S. What are you using?
I know, but I remember. Don't worry about it. I love that face sitting is number 5.
Is that BDSM?
Yes!
All
That's
right.
absolutely a kink. Eating something out, eating some corn. Number 6 was sounding. 7 was bondage.
Yeah.
8 was cunnilingus.
Again, is that BDSM?
This video's not monetized. 9, degradation. And 10, JOI.
You mean cornilingus?
Jerk off instructions. A category of porn, audio or video, that features a woman giving explicit instructions to male viewers on how to get your corn off. Oh, well, that's why we don't know what it is.
I've never heard of such a thing.
So it's female domination. Interesting. I've never heard of it either. Learning new things every day.
We learn something new all the time on this show.
So there's a whole list. Again, there's 20 top terms from this last year from Mars. So 2021 was a very sexually charged, very interesting sort of year when it came to search terms, because I think we really had to turn to the internet for a lot of our sexual proclivities.
Yeah, and that's basically what the internet was built for.
The internet is really, really great.
For corn. So if everyone searched for all of those things and put it all in one big kettle, would that be kettle corn? I was actually just fascinated by all the different age groups and how they search for things differently.
I agree, but I'm also fascinated by how a lot of the terminology, and you can look at the entire Cornhub review as well as the From Mars, it'll be linked down below, but there's a lot of culturally relevant and women-centric terms that were very, very big this last year all over the, not only globe, but in the States, in such a way that I'm interested if that is a reflection of our society and the misogyny that exists, or if that is progression of being more inclusive and conscious in a positive way, I hope.
That was way smarter than what I had, but I just like seeing the difference of what young people like and old people.
So if you're interested in the ethics of corn that we're still putting together, how it impacts us not only just as a society, but even women, because again, there was a lot of feedback on the misogyny that exists in corn. Give us some questions down below. Let us know what you're interested in, and if you have any pointers, because I'm curious about studies. As you can see, with this entire episode, there's tons of stats.
Tell us what corn you Googled.
Oh my God. Regardless, however you pop off at the end of the night, though, always have a safe word. And today's safe word, Daddy, is?
Don't call me Shirley.
Can I call you Daddy?
You can call me Daddy.
Don't forget to leave a comment down below of the stuff that might tickle your fancy.
And if you like ringing bells, ring the bell.
And thanks for watching this interesting kind of introspective of the last year. I'm really interested to see what 2022 brings us.
Yeah, what corn are you gonna watch?
And what are your resolutions? What is your kinky resolution for 2022, Daddy?
To watch less corn.
Mine's to learn how to hypnotize people.
Uh-oh.
You're getting very Shirley. Daddy,
Getting
Daddy,
very
hey
Shirley.
Daddy, hey Daddy, hey Daddy, hey Daddy.
Surly. I'll get surly.
And we will see y'all next time.
Bye.
You're getting very sleepy. You will edit this video.
Nice try.
You will clean my room.
No, you should clean your room.
I have a, it's not messy, but you will like and subscribe.
Surly Daddy. Oh no, yeah, get them.
Not ethical. Speaking of ethics, that is not ethical. Also, why this spoon is not clean? Ew.